Hey YouTube, how are you doing? And welcome back to Sons of the Forest. In this video, I'm gonna go over all of the changes in the first ever patch for Sons of the Forest in early access, and it is exactly as I hoped. This is an absolutely massive patch that adds a ton of stuff, such as, first of all, a gate. Obviously they were gonna add a gate, but they're adding a hang glider and all other sorts of stuff. This is an awesome patch, so I'm gonna go over all of that in this video. I hope you join me. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. But let's not waste any more time, and let's hop into the patch notes. Hey everyone, for our first patch we have added a new mini boss battle, new binocular pickup, hang gliders, defensive wall gates, and door locks, as well as lots more. Now let's check out this list. So we have binoculars in order to see further away, just a little extra feature. Hang glider, which is amazing. Defensive wall gate, holy heck, I spent so much time trying to figure out different ways to do a gate, and there was just no way at all. So finally they have added a gate. Added a mid-game boss fight into the food bunker. I'm gonna start a whole new playthrough today on stream, so if you want to join me and see all this content live, you can join me over on twitch.tv/instant, or click the link in the description down below. But anyway, added settings, reset in the option screen, small thing. Added missing Virginia leather suit pickup to the world. Okay, more cosmetics. You can now lock doors with a stick placed on the interior door. Okay, finally we can lock stuff. Built small structures, furniture can now be grabbed. While grabbed, it can either be placed again somewhere or thrown to collapse it and get back its resources. Very cool. So you can just quickly swap around stuff that you've placed. Some additional story elements. A lot of people were complaining about the story, so they're adding some more story elements, which I don't know what that is, but we're gonna discover that all today. New headshot death animation variations added for cannibals. Let's go. Angry regular cannibals can attack now by jumping out of trees. Small birds will now land and gain fullness. Wait, so small birds will eat, or can we eat them? Because you can't skin small birds. I don't know exactly what that means. Added option to hide player name tags. Nice, more immersion. Added option to hide projectiles and reticle and trajectory. Fish trap should work now. Finally, you can actually catch a fish, because I didn't even bother with those because I know they were bugged. Nice, as long as it's placed in not in the winter, makes sense. Added lookout towers to some cannibal villages. Very cool. Story paper pickups will now show UI to zoom in. Added new structure type, one-sided apex. Fills the space between a leaning beam and its supporting beam. Aligns automatically based on the leaning beam orientation. Fits quarter log variations to the right length automatically. Okay, so what I'm thinking this means is that we can now actually fill up the sides of roofs, because you kind of just, there was ways to do a one tile roof by stacking different sized logs. Like first you do a 3/4 log, then a half log, then etc, etc. But now you can actually fill any size of roof, which is hugely important because we couldn't make like actual houses. Let's go. And then there's balance, which I hope they kind of, here I hope to see some survival reworks, because it was really easy to survive in this game. Added sleep cooldown. Set rest drain from added sleep cooldown, so you can't just sleep spam, which makes a lot of sense, because you could literally, I was testing some of the custom difficulty options, and if you set your seasons to realistic, I was curious how long the seasons would actually take, so I just kept sleeping. It takes 90 days, by the way, like really actual seasons. So I never used that setting, obviously, so you could just sleep spam to get through the game, which now you can't do that anymore, like in the first forest. Set rest drain from hunger and dehydration to 0. So if you are tired, you get you get tired more faster, or if you are hungry or dehydrated, you get tired faster. I'm not exactly sure. Muddy cannibals will now get less angry from player proximity and in late game. I like that, because I really loved playing kind of pacifist at the start especially, which is really interesting because the cannibal AI is awesome. Added possibility of player sleep interruption events from nearby enemies that can reach player. Like that a lot, because you know what this is going to mean is that a base is going to be a lot more important, because what would kind of happen is that you didn't build a base at all, because you can just drop down a tarp and then just like sleep anywhere you want and instantly make a day again, which felt really weird. Like there was really no incentive to build a base. So these kind of events will mean that you actually want to build a base that's like walled off so you don't get jumped in your sleep, which is really cool. Tweaked fire drain rate to make using fireboot more important. Nice. Tweak berries to give slightly more fullness. Nice, because berries were completely useless. Tweaked energy drink to give half as much dehydration and less of an energy buff. I like these reworks because it was super easy to survive. Tweaked amount of fullness and dehydration. All herbs and mushrooms give. I never really ate any of those, so I don't know. Hard enemy health setting reduced to 1.25 health. Kind of like that because Heart was a little silly sometimes. Increased cannibal armor by 1.5 on Hearth. Okay, so it's going to be more about armor then, which is actually more punishing because the armor is very strong that they wear late game, especially. They're just fully clad in creepy armor. Kelvin Catchfish order will end after a time, okay. Fixed opening a cave in late game having too many enemies. Maybe that was what I had, because holy heck, I had so many enemies in my caves on my first playthrough. Adjusted some player melee events and ranges for better AI responsiveness. Halved shotgun damage. No more one-shot shotgun? Okay. Boosted seat rest amount from 0.3 to 0.7, so you can now actually rest a little bit on chairs. Added regular puffies. The dining hall? New food to the dining hall bunker area. Increased health on creepies depending on amount of multiplayer. I like that. So multiplayer scaling, because it was really easy to just blast your way through in a group of people. Improvements. Improved red cannibals, animations, and blends. Fixed sleeping animation for female cannibals. Set up effigy, struggle, idle for people for multiplayer. Set a player effigy struggle idle for multiplayer. Don't really know what that means. Fixed bouncy logs with no, not the bouncy logs. Performance speed up for world locators. Okay, these are just very specific tweaks. Added logic to allow hatches and doors to be forced open when the player is spawn inside. Fixed for some LODs. Fixed for some load but like distance load objects or something like that. Sometimes not switching correctly. Okay, this might be above my pay grade. Fixed error caused when quitting while in death wake up. Unique story items are now force equipped when they are collected. Can we finally also review them after we read them? Because it's really weird. You can't like go back through your emails once you've collected them. I hope they add that soon. Door orientation is now determined by the player. I was literally thinking that when we that you can now lock doors. You can't set the orientation of doors. Well, now you can, because they've actually tweaked that. Door orientation is now determined by the position of the player when placing it. The face in front of the player is the interior face. Okay, so the face in front of the player is the interior face. Okay, so you need to build it from the inside out. Adjust a deer and moose locomotion for better pathing. They go through walls and logs. I don't know if that's still going to be the case. Prevented placing bench so close to object that player could be stuck when standing up. Lol. Added more small prop setup for melee impacts and collisions, so they like explode, like small props explode. Added LODs optimization for wall torch. Okay, destroying screw storage. Wait, there's screw storage, as in like, wait, there's screws. What? Now spawns stored items as dynamic pickups. Okay. Beach greebles regenerated with coral rock sizes reduced. Bunker food fixed some small lightning issues. Added radio to bunker food. Turned a table cards for Mr. and Mrs. Puffton into story pickup, so you actually don't miss it. I saw this when I played, but I can see this being something that people miss, which is actually a super important part of the story. That part, like in the dining hall, which obviously we're gonna go over this in our playthrough. All right, fixes. Should no longer be able to get through locked doors with a stick. Sorry, speedrunners, no more. I'm so glad I did this before they fixed that, because I knew they were gonna fix it. So now we actually can no longer do that speedrun. I mean, obviously you can play it on an older patch, but anyway. Fixed Kelvin cutting down trees with player structures attached. No more chopping down your precious treehouse. Thank you. That was actually so stupid that he could do that. Fixed keycard guest not opening the 2 doors in bunker entertainment and not being needed to get into the bunker residential. I didn't know that was a bug. I just assumed that cart was like not very useful. Fixed ghost blueprints not rendering underwater for the fish strap, for example. Fix some stream underwater rendering glitches. All right, I'm just gonna go over the most important ones. Let me read through this. Fixed adding log planks to ghost blueprint structures by splitting logs automatically, not consuming the log properly. Okay, so you used to be able to just dupe, like you couldn't avoid it, but you could place all structures, all like furniture for free, which they've now fixed. Let's go. Players will no longer slide down slopes when either utility book is held or when the player is in their inventory. No more book sliding. They really cracked down on the speedrunners. Oh boy. Fix some cases of multiplayer client able to duplicate logs. It doesn't seem like there's many duplication fixes here. Maybe there's still, because a lot of people were using them. I personally don't use them because I like playing a survival game for the survival aspects, and I don't dupe logs because that would be silly. But I know a lot of people were using those, but it seems like they haven't really fixed many, only multiplayer ones. Fixed Kelvin dropping radios, destroying the radio. I thought I was crazy, but Kelvin, like, whenever he drops a radio, it just disappeared for me. So I hope that fixed that as well, so you can actually move the radio to your base. Oh, fixed weapons given to Virginia not being returned with correct amount of ammo and weapon upgrades. Very nice. So you now no longer have to worry about giving her an upgraded gun and her just deleting all your attachments. Alrighty, that seems like those are the most important changes. So very cool. We got to go through it one more time. We got hang glider, gates. Seems like there's quite a lot of stuff in here. I like the balance changes to make food a little bit less OP because it was so easy to survive. I think they haven't done like many changes, but we'll see how this feels now. So yeah, hang glider is going to be really cool. Defensive gates, not like very massive things, but depends on like how much this is, like some additional story elements added. Being able to make a roof is good. So yeah, pretty decent patch for the first one. Also remember the mini boss is pretty solid. I will definitely check that out as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see me play all of this live, you can join us over on stream. You're very welcome there. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. You're very welcome on stream. Thank you so much. I'll see you around. Bye guys, have a good one. Bye bye.